Hey everyone, this is the first video in a series of videos that we're going to be putting out about sleep. I think when taking a holistic approach to trying to live a healthy lifestyle, which many of our clients are trying to do, you have to consider sleep. I think it really should be considered with some of those other pillar concepts like stress, nutrition, diet, your exercise, all those things. They all play an important part, but they play it with sleep. So what I want to do today in this first video is to get a working definition. It's kind of a good idea of what sleep is. So if you would, please pause this video and read this definition we have here. Good. So this came straight from a dictionary, and if you're anything like me, it did not help clarify anything. It really just kind of helped invoke a sense in me that sleep is a very abstract concept. It's something that's kind of hard to wrap your mind around. But the nice thing is that we can kind of leave that to scientists, doctors, researchers. We just have to have kind of a basic understanding of what sleep is in order to reap some of the benefits of it. So in looking at just a very basic, simplified outline, this chart right here where you're looking at 1, 2, 3, and 4 is a really good illustration to kind of get you headed in the right direction and get you thinking correctly. Starting with light sleep, going to intermediate, transitioning to deep and REM sleep. So the body has two main types of sleep, REM and non-REM. And when you look at these two categories, the first one would be the blue section, and the second one with REM sleep being the orange section. The body goes through 90-minute cycles of all four categories multiple times throughout your sleep cycle. So basically what that means is that this little cycle that happens right here, these different phases of sleep, they go on multiple times throughout the night. It's just not one time with each category. Every 90 minutes, approximately, you will go through this entire cycle one time. As you repeat each cycle, the proportion of REM sleep begins to increase. The last 2 hours of your sleep encompass about 70% of your REM sleep. Okay, so this is kind of helping to illustrate that this is a very dynamic process. It's not the static, well, I got 8 hours of sleep, I'm good to go. Well, one, there's quality of sleep to consider, and not even just quality, but there are going to be different qualities throughout the night. REM sleep has been shown to calm anxiety, improve creative thinking, and aid in the comprehension of new information. Deep sleep is essential in the storage of memories and the cleaning of byproducts from within the brain. These 2 points right here are really, I liked including them just because I want to show that different phases of sleep have different benefits. And a good example of something that you can do to help utilize this is if you're somebody that constantly misses the last hour and a half, 2 hours of sleep, it's not necessarily even just the time that you're missing, but the type and quality of sleep. That last hour and a half, 2 hours might encompass a little bit more REM sleep than what the first couple of hours did. And when you look at REM sleep and its ability to help with anxiety, stress, and invoking a sense of calm, you're missing out a lot of that benefit in sleep. It's not just necessarily the time, you're missing a lot of those things that you would normally be getting in. So if you feel yourself overwhelmed and stressed at times, which I'm sure everybody does at least occasionally, you might take a look at your sleep and say, am I fulfilling this need? What makes us want to sleep? The body has two main sleep tools, sleep pressure and your circadian rhythm. And I think this is a really amazing feat of evolution that our body actually has two different mechanisms that allow it to create this sleep-wake cycle that makes you want to sleep at some point. The first one being sleep pressure, which is the gradual buildup of adenosine in the body. This buildup begins to block the reception of certain stimulations and promotes grogginess. So essentially, adenosine is just a chemical that the body makes, and as your day progresses, adenosine starts to accumulate. And basically what that does is it has an effect on the brain that's kind of like a numbing sensation. It allows your brain to kind of slowly start shutting off even while you're still being active. And I'm sure many people have experienced this, especially as you get towards 16, 17, 18 hours of wakefulness, you begin to feel more groggy. You don't perceive stimulus as well as you used to. So this is kind of the body's own mechanism where even if you had 24 hours of total darkness, you would still know that it was about that time of day because you would sense that you are having a buildup of that sleep pressure. The second tool that your body uses is your circadian rhythm, and this is essentially just the body's internal clock. I think Many people are familiar with this concept, and one of the things I always like to illustrate is that this clock uses a lot of different cues from your environment. Obviously, your body can't just wind it to whatever time you have set. It has to use cues in the environment to predict what time it is. So a lot of those cues, for instance, might be like light exposure, sound exposure, even things as subtle as tactile cues and smell, things like that. It all invokes a time of day in the body. So you want to make sure that you're giving your body those cues properly. So that's it for this section. In the next one, we are going to talk about, are you getting enough sleep? And then we're going to also discuss how it might not be the best idea to try to make sleep up later on in the week. Okay, we'll see you then.